Hello, we are in the Chaska Municipal Services building. My name is Matt Hafner. I'm the Water and Sewer Director. Today on our virtual tour, we're going to be showing you the Water and Sewer Bay. You're going to see some of our inventory area in our mezzanine, an office area for our department, and the bay in which all of our equipment is currently stored.
I am Andrew Romine. I am the Assistant Electric Director. On our virtual tour today, we'll be bringing you through the electric bay where the vehicles are stored, various inventory spaces, and our break room and locker room.
Hello, I'm Brian Jung. I'm the Public Works Director. Today I'll be taking you on a tour of our mechanics area where they maintain the fleet of all of the citywide equipment, including police and fire. Then we'll be going to our streets bay, and you'll see a lot of dump trucks with their snow equipment on. From there into our parks bays, and the one department we're kind of forgetting about is our building department that we house and we store all of the facilities. Plus you'll see the guys' lockers, and that's about it. Hello. This is an introduction to our Municipal Services Mechanics Department. In this area, they maintain the fleet of vehicles for the police, fire, community center, sewer and water, electric, streets, parks, building maintenance, and with those vehicles, there's over 100 licensed vehicles within the city of Chaska that are really driven almost on a daily basis. With that, there's also an additional 200 to 250 pieces of driven equipment. As you can see, this site is quite constraining. If we have a fire truck that may go down in this bay that has to be down for a couple of days, or one of our snowplow trucks that is in for extensive damage, it really completely ties that bay up, and then the mechanics are really working out of two bays, or they have to try to borrow a bay from the electric or public works. As we start to hit our build out, there's additional equipment that's going to be used by, or going to be needed by all the departments. I know from a public works standpoint, we'll be getting we'll have to put out another couple of dump trucks, some support vehicles. From a park side, we'll be looking at the introduction of 2 additional parks within our system. That's about 72 acres of parkland, and one of them is a community park, so it's going to have the demands are going to be quite high for equipment or for use out there, which is also puts a lot of demands on our equipment. So there will be a lot of additional equipment that'll be needed, and it all has to get serviced out of this facility. Now we are in the Public Works Street Department bays. It right now is full. A lot of it is snow equipment related. I know right now we are full, and as we hit our build out, we'll be adding an additional 2 dump trucks, snow plows, and some support vehicles that will also get parked in here and staged in here. The importance of parking a piece of equipment like this inside is when we have temperatures below 0, and yes, can we get them started outside? We can, but they also carry a lot of hydraulics on these trucks for the sander and operation of the wings, that anytime it's below 0, you really can't heat up those oils to even run efficiently. So to store something of this nature outside really can't happen. There's other support vehicles that'll have to stay outside, and I think those will be shown a little bit later. Now we are in the Municipal Services, primarily Park Department area. In this area, you'll see right now that it's kind of geared up for wintertime operations with the skid steers and pickups and plows and dump trucks and trails. During the summer, a lot of this equipment is still in here, but it also has in addition of all of the mowing equipment that's used to maintain the acreage. Actually escapes me right now. I want to say it's roughly about 300. But one thing that is changing is we are getting an additional 72 acres of park that is going to be developed here in the next handful of years. And that equipment is also going to have to be stored and staged in here. Right now, a lot of that equipment is staged at some other facilities, whether it be across the street or some other city-owned facilities. And those are quite full as well. One thing that I haven't touched base on yet is a couple years back we did create a building maintenance team to maintain all city facilities. And as we went through these 3 bays, there really is nothing dedicated for storage. So we utilize the park department for some of our parts storage. But unfortunately, their equipment right now has to stand outside.
So this here is the electric department bay. It houses several different vehicles and pieces of equipment. We've got a digger derrick truck, double bucket truck, a couple single buckets, several pickups, a dump truck. It also houses our trencher, some bobcats, etc. We currently have 14 employees. By 2030, we plan to have 18 employees. So we're currently, as you can see, we're already kind of pushing our max as to where we're at on space here with vehicles. You add more people, you have to add more vehicles. Other things you see behind me, you see a training dummy Bob back there. The space is also used for training, for overhead and underground preparation work before we go out into the field. It's also used for painting. It's used for Christmas light maintenance, preparation, etc. This is a very multi-use space. We even get some bleed over from other departments as well, as the mechanics need more space to bring items inside, warm them up, to work on them as well. And then we also have our own light maintenance that needs to happen too. As we bring our trencher in, as the trencher chain and teeth get worn out, we do our own maintenance in this space as well. So this is another one of the electric department multi-use spaces. We gather here to go over plans, talk about what we're going to do for the day. In addition to talking about what we're going to do today, it also houses all the guys' personal protective equipment. You see all the bright colors behind me. That's all the guys' FR gear. With their FR gear, it needs to stay clean, can't be washed with other types of materials. So they've got their own washing facilities in here to keep those pieces of safety equipment safe and functional for the guys. Not only is this space used for our meetings and such in the morning, it's also used for training. It's also used for lunch and for breaks as well, because the aforementioned space we have upstairs doesn't quite accommodate everybody to sit down at a table together. So here's one of our inventory storage spaces. We got meters behind me. In the room adjacent to us, we've got overhead and underground parts. In the next room, we've got signal lights, street lights, those sorts of items. As you'll see, everything is, shelves are pretty full, and we really have to get creative on how we store our inventory. We've got inventory stored in these rooms here. We've got inventory stored over at cold storage. We've got inventory storage stored in job boxes. We've got inventory stored at substations. All the inventory being scattered amongst those different locations creates some inefficiencies with getting the power on as quickly as we'd like to. So bringing all those things together in one confined space would be great for getting the power back on as quickly as possible for you.
Right now what you're seeing is kind of lunchroom, training room, break room. Right now we have roughly 46 employees that try to work out of this room. The difficulty is right now we're able to somewhat accommodate it, but when we start hitting our build out here in the next few years, we'll be up to 61 employees, and to try to train might be difficult in this space.
As Brian alluded to, this space now, on a day where we have training, Every seat is taken in this room, in addition to all the chairs that come out of the cubicle area as well, to bring everybody in here and use the singular screen behind you to try to do our trainings.
As we move forward, one of the benefits of having all three departments in municipal services under one roof is the ability to share resources such as equipment. Even staff members will help out other departments from time to time, so it's very critical that we have a good, strong foundation amongst the three departments, which we currently do. As we continue to grow, space is limited. It would just be a shame if those relationships were damaged due to the silos being created.
It's really part of the efficiency of really having everybody under one roof. all of our departments have all crossed lines, and they do it almost on a daily, weekly basis, from water main breaks to power outages and whatnot, or assistance with snow removal. Every time we have snow removal operations, I look to Matt to get some staff, and it's always really simple. I know in other sister cities, this is not the norm.
And I think we're proud of the relationships that we have built here, too. Now we're in the front entryway of Municipal Services. We have a customer service counter where individuals can come in, check in, and get helped by our two front desk individuals. Oftentimes we'll have plumbers and other individuals showing up to pick up water meters. Any customer can come up and pick up the light bulbs that I mentioned earlier. There are a handful of other areas that people need assistance from Municipal Services, and they'll show up. What we have going on here is this is where we do our plan review for new developments and things, is at our old front counter. We really don't have an adequate meeting area, so we do a lot of our plan reviews around this counter. And as you can see, we've done some retrofitting, made some cubicles smaller to increase the number of them. So we had enough spaces for the department foremen, lead men, and other staff that needed to have computers and cubicle spaces, so they would at least have a place to sit. We're in the water and sewer bay, and as you can see, we have 5 rows of equipment in a 3-bay garage, and guys get creative and navigate trucks in here every day. One of the issues we have is when we do have an emergency, we do have some things stacked back that we may have to pull multiple pieces of equipment out to get the camera trailer or our water main break trailer, that type of thing. Ideally, we're primarily the department that uses the excavator in the winter months. Ideally, having that in this bay would be a great wish, so we could just take it and go when we have a water main break occurring, but we have that typically stored in another building off-site. We do also have some different inventory here that we'll show you in a minute. But the water and sewer bay, when this building was built, we were a department of 3 people. Today we are currently at 9. We should be at 11. And when we are fully built out, we're going to be at 18 employees. So we have a number of vehicles that we're going to need to get in here or find a home for as we continue to develop and build. Now we'll take off and head upstairs and look at a couple of inventory areas and also our department meeting room. What you're looking at now is some water meter inventory that we have here up on our mezzanine area in the water and sewer area. We have some different things on pallets, some of our nodes that send back the meter reads. We have some other larger meters and things over up against the edge of the mezzanine. There is a couple of areas that the electric department is using, housing some light bulbs that all Chaska residents can come and pick up 1 box annually if they would like, and then some other electric meters there. Here we have 2 more pallets of water meters, and we also have a few pieces of equipment. We house some larger diameter hose for flushing, and we have some different water meters. Irrigation meters are stored here, and then around this corner we have some inventory for our pressure reducing valves. This is our water and sewer department meeting room. We were meeting in here on a daily basis prior to COVID. We have tried to get 8 to 9 employees in here. At times it was a little bit challenging, but we made do.